Hey everybody, Attorney Matt Crow's Marc Lopez Law Firm, and let's talk a little bit about deadly weapons. What exactly is a deadly weapon? So everybody knows the usual suspects, right? A gun, a knife, things of that nature. Now, Indiana law actually says a firearm is a deadly weapon. But what else could be a deadly weapon? Pretty much anything, depending on the context. So there's a catch-all under the actual statutes that says any object or pretty much anything that is used can normally be used for, or in the event used for, causing serious bodily injury. So in that context, a spoon could theoretically be a deadly weapon. A brick could be a deadly weapon. Another one we hear often is a car, an automobile, a deadly weapon. Now, an automobile in itself inherently isn't a deadly weapon, but in proper context, it certainly can be. You try to run someone over with a car, battery with a deadly weapon. All of a sudden, you start stacking potential consequences depending on if a deadly weapon is involved. For example, domestic battery in itself, first time, is a misdemeanor, punishable by up to a year in jail and a $5,000 fine. You use a deadly weapon, whether that be a gun, a knife, whatever, depending on the context again, that automatically gets elevated to a level 5 felony. Now you go from a class A misdemeanor, 1 year in jail, to a level 5 felony, potentially 6 years in the Indiana Department of Corrections. So deadly weapons, when it comes to a criminal context, never a good thing. Now again, deadly weapons inherently are not illegal to possess. In fact, Indiana very recently made firearms or carrying firearms significantly easier. In the past, you used to need a license to carry, so you'd have to go through numerous steps. Get your fingerprints, apply, pay, wait, make sure everything checks out, and then they would send you in the mail either a lifetime or a carry permit for a few years, depending on which one you chose. Well, now Indiana says, hey, you don't need any of that. As long as you're a proper person, so you're not convicted of a felony, you've never had your rights taken away, you've never been convicted of domestic battery or anything to that nature, or you don't have any pending felony charges. So as long as you're a proper person, in Indiana, you can carry a firearm, a deadly weapon. So the inherent possession of a deadly weapon isn't actually a crime. But when you start having deadly weapons involved in other criminal acts, battery, domestic battery, things of that nature, then all of a sudden you start seeing tremendous elevations from, hey, maybe a little bit of probation to, hey, we're starting to talk about prison time. So deadly weapons, very, very serious here in the state of Indiana. And another thing that could be considered a deadly weapon, and quite frankly, everyone here at the Marc Lopez Law Firm, most of us own them. Pets, animals. Animals can be deadly weapons. Now, again, it's not illegal to own a dog. I have 2 of them. But any type of animal capable of creating serious bodily injury, and we've got videos on what serious bodily injury or harm is, but any animal capable of producing an injury that is serious bodily injury and is used in a commission or attempted commission of a crime, then that animal can be considered a deadly weapon. So we see this a lot with dog attacks and things of that nature. So even though a dog bite can be a civil case and you can receive compensation if you're a victim of a dog bite, but the actual owner itself not only is liable for potential damages, but is also potentially liable for a criminal offense, battery with a deadly weapon. So all of a sudden, things start stacking pretty quickly. So if you got any questions about weapons, deadly weapons, give us a call, 317-632-3642. And remember, always plead the fifth.